So now y'all are going to flip it over. We're not done yet. Flip over your page to the back of page 41.
To the back of 41?
I mean, back of 40. And y'all are going to draw this picture right here.
Wash them.
So try to draw it as closely as possible so that when you look back tonight and study this, you kind of have an idea of what this is. Alright, so this is a topographic map. While y'all are continuing to write it down, I'm going to go over some stuff. Okay? So, I labeled these points. This is point X, this is point Y, this is point Z, and I told you what the different elevations of those points were.
Is this supposed to take up the whole page?
No.
I made that mistake.
Oh.
But if it does, it's okay. You will be fine. Just draw it. Okay? What I really want y'all to make sure that y'all have is this V right here. Who can tell me what is that V called?
The lake. The river.
The dip.
We know it's a river.
Waterfall.
We know it's a river that runs, right?
Opposite.
Good. Runs opposite. But what do we know about that river? What is that called in the topographic map?
A V.
Delta.
A delta.
Oh.
Okay? That V right there is called a delta. Now we know that the river runs in the opposite direction of the V. So that means is the river running to the left or to the right?
Left.
To the left. It is running out.
Because it can't go up.
Okay? The river is running out.
How would the water even get up there? Or is it just going
The
through
rainfall.
There's natural springs and things.
Going out.
Well, wouldn't if it's going out, wouldn't it turn it like that way? Or does it have to be in?
That's why it's opposite. So if there's a V, it's opposite of the V.
Oh,
Do they make these for all the mountains?
I'm sorry?
Do they make these for all the mountains that they find?
There's a topographic map topographic map for almost every mountain you could ever think of. Yes.
That'd be a hard one.
There's a topographic map for Palacios, Texas, and we're not a mountain.
That's awesome.
It's just elevate. Think about what is a topographic map?
Elevation.
It's elevation.
So if we have elevation,
So-
that has like 3 lines.
Yeah.
3
So
lines, 12.
Not very much, but still.
all right. So we're gonna answer a couple of questions. The first question is, what is the relief?
The highest point minus the lowest point.
Okay. So first thing, in order to find the relief, we've got to find the highest point and the lowest point. Correct?
Yeah.
The point.
So the highest point, guys, is going to be my point X, right? Even though my point X is not on a contour line, that is going to be my highest point because it is 720 feet. But my lowest point does not mean it has to be a point.
Point one.
My lowest point is going to be my lowest contour line. Okay, my lowest point will be my lowest contour line. Yes, Zenaida?
Would your relief always be the highest number?
Your relief is always the highest minus the lowest. That's a vocabulary word. So you take your highest, which is 720, and we got to figure out our lowest still. So in order to figure out our lowest point, we've got to look at what is going to be the interval of my contour lines, my contour interval. Well, in order to figure that out, I've got to look, okay, well, if I'm going from 500 here and it's 650 here, what do I know happens on these two lines? It's increasing by 50, right? 500, so this line would be 550. Then this line right here would be 600. Then this line right here would be 650, right? Okay, so Krista, then if we're incrementing by 50, what would this line right here be? This outside line? 450, okay? So you can then say that this line right here is 450 feet. Okay, so now we know our highest point, which is X, and the reason X is our highest point is because it's on the inside of that inner circle. And our lowest point of 450, you would take those two and find your relief. 720 minus 450.
You do it?
Yeah, you do it.
Bam. Done. Oh, wait.
So what'd y'all get?
270.
270.
270? 260? Y'all can't do math or what?
I got 270.
I got 270.
0 minus 0 is 0. You can't do 2 minus 5. You change it to 12 minus 5. You change your 7 to your 6. 12 minus 5 is 7.
Basic.
6 minus 4 is 2. You get 270 feet is your relief.
That's basic.
Okay? Next question says, what is the difference in elevation from point X to point Z? Well, on that right there, all you would do is what? Subtract point X minus point Z. 720 minus 580. And what'd y'all get?
140.
140. Okay. Everybody understanding this so far?
Yes.
Okay, next question says, would a hiker travel with more elevation traveling from point X to Z or traveling from point X to Y?
Point X to Y.
So I can't show the entire thing. Well, I can show your points. But you would have to then basically say, okay, well, from X to Z, you know you're taking 720 minus 580. And from X to Y, you're taking 720 minus 510. Which one is going to have a bigger elevation?
X to
X
Z.
to Y.
Oh.
Because
Or next to Y.
you would get what here?
270.
210.
Oh.
210 here
270, man.
and 140 there.
The higher elevation would be
Which means the higher elevation would be 210. Okay? Does everybody understand elevation and how to calculate this? The biggest thing on the test tomorrow that I need y'all to not forget is that just because this is 500, that is not your lowest elevation point. You have to figure out what your interval is to figure out that this is 450. Do not forget about your intervals of your contour lines, okay? That is the most important thing. If you forget about that, then you will get them all wrong, all right? So, that is all the notes we are going to take right now.